Good evening, guys. My name is Ben, and my topic today would be guns control. So, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of gun control. First, I'm going to go with the pro. Now, the Second Amendment is an unlimited right to own guns. In the June of 2008, District of Columbia, at L. Heller, U.S. Supreme Court, a majority opinion, like most right, their right to secure or fire arms. The amendment is not unlimited. Like nothing in our opinion should be taken to cast doubt on long-standing prohibition of possession of firearms by the felony or the mental ill people. Because now, take for example, we understand that the Second Amendment protects the right to own firearms of every citizen. But on the other side, if you listen to that, it's basically trying to let us understand that everybody has the rights to own guns. And now, if everybody have the rights to own guns, you're gonna have more death in the country because people who are mentally ill can have access to a gun. People who are felony can have access to a gun because right they'll say, "Oh, it's my right to bear firearms." In the Constitution, the Second Amendment say every citizen have the right to own guns. But with pros, there will be what limited procedures. It's not unlimited. Like, oh yeah, everybody wouldn't have gun on. If certain limit is put to that, I think it can reduce the health or the death rate. Then compared to the cons that support the Second Amendment, that everybody have the rights to own guns. If every citizen don't own guns to protect themselves and their family, they will feel in frightened and it will infringe on their right. We understand that everybody have the right to protect their family, but on the same side too, we have to understand that if we don't have a policy on who to bear firearms or who are eligible to bear firearms or who can we give the pass to say, yeah, he's eligible or she's eligible for firearms, there'll always be chaos. Now, since the new amendment, the death toll of guns violence have been reduced. Now, on the coin that support gun, uh, uh, um, that support or having gun. Now, let's look at what been happening in schools. People just walk to school and just shoot everybody. People just go to the shopping mall and just shoot everybody. People go to the theaters and just shoot everybody. At the end of the day, when I ask them, oh, they were mentally ill, they have health issues, or there was once a felony and stuff like that. But if we have that restriction in place that not everybody have the right to bear firearms, or we have to do a thorough investigation background check before we give anybody a firearms, that would be much safer. That would be much safer for everybody. Because at the end of the day, we are taking precaution. We don't want to lose our loved ones, our family, all because of the Second Amendment say everybody should have guns. No, that's not good. You know. So we have these laws in place against gun violence, so we can reduce the death rate in the country. And since these laws have been placed on guns violence, the reduction of this death rate by gun violence have been probably like 14% reduced. Like before, 67.7 of all homicide cases was led by gun violence, by guns. Again on again, intentional or not, you see another gang for another gang for another area, get into a fight and they start shooting everywhere and mistakenly civilian who just caught in an act can be affected, can be killed, or be seriously wounded. And that will be somebody's sister, brother, father, mother, and I'm saying grandmother, granddad. And we all love our family. But now, with the Second Amendment in place of how to restrict guns control, it reduced the death rate, it reduced the crime rate. Now, the cons is saying that Con say gun control law do not determine crime, guns ownership determine crime. No, guns law do determine crime ownership because in the day, if you don't investigate or do a background check of an individual who's going to purchase a firearm for you, and you don't know his intent, you don't know his history, when he buy that guns from you and go and use it and destroy somebody else's life, it come back on you because you give them the gun. They bought it from you. So you're responsible for that. So it do play a huge impact on people's lives. Yeah, we understand that Second Amendment say everybody right to own guns, but there should be restriction on this amendment. You know, it should be restriction on these guns or control or having guns and stuff like that. Now, let's go to my another point is high capacity magazines should be banned because they too often turn murder into mass murder. You know, like a Mother Jones investigation found that high capacity magazines were used in at least 50% of the 62 mass shooting between 1982 and 2012. Now, all these magazines, like all these guns, all the violence pictures and other stuff, it also make people to turn into a murderer, a mass murderer. Because you're reading a boat, you see how John wake up one morning, he shoot everybody and he killed like 58 people, he killed 68 people. The next thing you know, you intimidated. You want to do the same thing. You want to show like you can do it, you want to be tough and all stuff like that. So now it's already in your head that, yeah, if he can do it, I can do it. Why can't I try it? Now you be intimidated. You being not intimidated, but you being brainwashed, and you want to go and try it. And understand that. But now listen, since 50% of the 62 mass shooting between 1982 and 2012 are all because of a high capacity magazine. Now, that's the pros right there. Like, all this stuff needs to be banned from the market. Now, with the con, they said gun control laws infringe upon the rights of self-defense and deny the people of a sense of safety. According to the National Rifle Association, NRA, guns are used for self-defense. Yeah, we understand that. Like I said, I'm not disputing the fact, like, people have the right to own guns to protect their family. Yeah. Everybody have the right to own guns to protect their family. But at the same time, we have the right to make sure we put it in the right person's hand. The rifles are going in the right folks' hand. We can be always responsible enough to take care of their family. Now, I conclude with this. More gun control laws are needed to protect women from domestic abuses and stalker. Right, because 5 women are murdered with gun every day in the United States. A woman's risk of being murdered increases 500% if a gun is present during a domestic dispute. Now, some people in the home have been very abusive to their wife, the girlfriend, sister, whatever. Because why? They have guns. It's like if a person have a gun right now and point a gun at you and say, hey, do this, regardless, you're going to do it because you don't want to die. You see? So that's the same thing we're talking about. And the con saying, yeah, everybody have the right to own gun. We understand that. But now, if the guns enter in the wrong hands, it becomes chaos. Now, if John have a gun, he don't know how to use it. There's no background check. We don't know his intention. He take that gun and disturb the whole neighborhood, killing people, or go to a house, kill his family. It will be on the government because at the end of the day, this law will not put into place. Most women have been domestically abused because of gun violence, and we're going to put a stop to that. Everybody have the right to live. The same way everybody have the right to own gun, everybody have the right to live. There's been no reason why we should not have restriction on gun control to save the life of our family, of our friends, and our loved ones. Restriction on gun control should be allowed. That's my pro, and that's my topic right now I'm sticking with. Like, we need to put an end to violence through the restriction on gun control. We need to end the too much killing. Look at Chicago, Detroit, or that are homosexuals due to gun violence. Now, if we put all these rules in place, a felon cannot have access to gun. Mental ill people can have access to gun. Domestic abuser, no, just name it. They can have access to gun because it will be restricted, forbidden for them to hold a gun because we don't know the intention. Well, if we didn't do that, we just give the gun to anybody, it will be a problem, and we don't want it to be a problem. That's why I'm going to stick with the pros to say restriction on guns should be allowed to save our family and loved ones. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Bye.